Hello guys. Justin Bieber cancelled a series of shows on his latest tour after a virus caused full paralysis on one side of his face. The Canadian pop star said he had been diagnosed with Ramsay Hunt syndrome after a virus had damaged the nerves in his ear. He said he was suffering a pretty serious case in a video he posted to his Instagram page. The 28-year-old is currently on his Justice tour in North America and has cancelled performances in Toronto, Washington DC, and New York. He said, "It is from this virus that attacks the nerve in my ear and my facial nerves and has caused my face to have paralysis. As you can see, this eye is not blinking. I can't smile on this side of my face. This nostril will not move. So there is full paralysis on this side of my face." Justin Bieber's half face is paralyzed. Now, so many have been asking, what is this Ramsay Hunt syndrome? Ramsay Hunt syndrome is an infection of the facial nerve. It is a neurological disorder in which the varicella zoster virus infects specific nerves in the head. The condition is also known as herpes zoster urticus. The varicella zoster virus can also cause another kind of disease called chicken pox. So what are the things that trigger Ramsay Hunt syndrome? Ramsay Hunt syndrome is caused by the same virus that causes chickenpox. After chickenpox clears up, the virus still lives in your nerves. Years later, it may reactivate. When it does, it can affect your facial nerves. Now, the difference between Ramsay Hunt syndrome and Bell's palsy. Compared with Bell's palsy, that's facial paralysis without rash. Patients with Ramsay Hunt syndrome often have more severe paralysis at onset and are less likely to recover completely. Another question, is Ramsay Hunt syndrome the same as shingles? The singer Justin Bieber said he has been diagnosed with Ramsay Hunt syndrome, a rare disease that occurs when shingles outbreak attacks facial nerves close to one of your ears. The disease is in the same family of viruses that causes chickenpox and monkeypox, the varicella zoster virus. Maybe questions are still coming. Is Ramsay Hunt syndrome serious? Ramsay Hunt syndrome has few lasting complications. However, if it goes untreated for too long, you may have some permanent muscle weakness in your face or lose some of your hearing. So, anyone that has the symptoms or that has contracted it needs to see a doctor as soon as possible. Ramsay Hunt syndrome, individuals that are affected by it develop sensorineural hearing loss, a condition in which sound vibrations are not properly transmitted to the brain due to a defect of the inner ear or the auditory nerve, resulting in hearing loss. Hearing loss is usually temporary, transient. However, in rare cases, it may be permanent. Ramsay Hunt syndrome is caused by the same virus that causes chickenpox. After chickenpox clears up, the virus still lives in your nerves. Some people ask question, can you contract Ramsay Hunt syndrome twice? After you have contracted it, years later it may reactivate. When it does, it can affect the facial nerves. Does Ramsay Hunt syndrome go away? Ramsay Hunt syndrome is usually effectively treated, but some people may have permanent facial muscle weakness and hearing loss. The risk of complications drops significantly with prompt and proper treatment. The longer the person has to wait for treatment, the smaller the chances of making a complete recovery. How is Ramsay Hunt syndrome diagnosed? Although further research is needed, geniculate zone VZV PCR may help to distinguish between patients with Bell's palsy and patients with early Ramsay Hunt syndrome. Ramsay Hunt syndrome, is it worse than Bell's palsy? Ramsay Hunt syndrome is responsible for 12% of cases of facial paralysis, with a worse prognosis than Bell's palsy. Ramsay Hunt syndrome, is it contagious? Some questions might come. No, it is not contagious. It's not something that someone who is infected can transmit to another person. However, if you have never had chickenpox or have not been vaccinated, you can become infected with chickenpox from close contact with an open rash or a blister that is on a person with Ramsay Hunt syndrome. What causes Ramsay Hunt syndrome type 2? Also, Ramsay Hunt syndrome type 2, also known as Ramsay Hunt syndrome herpes zoster opticus, is a disorder that is caused by reactivation of varicella zoster virus in the geniculate ganglion, a nerve cell bundle on the facial nerve. So, with the first signs of shingles on the face, shingles is a painful rash that develops on one side of the face or body. The rash consists of blisters that typically scab over in 7 to 10 days and fully clears up within 2 to 4 weeks. Before the rash appears, people often have pain, itching, or tingling in the area where it will develop. So we are wishing Justin Bieber a quick recovery from Ramsay Hunt syndrome. And please get this straight: it's not contagious. It's not a contagious disease. You can't contact it. And one of the cases, according to some publications, some doctors, it comes as a result of chickenpox. If you've never had chickenpox and if you have not been vaccinated against chickenpox, you must be careful. You may contract Ramsay Hunt syndrome. Thank you, guys.